Hey everybody, welcome to Fortunate Creations. I'm Kim, and right now I'm in the middle of the Santa Cloth Challenge. Now, if you haven't heard of it, well, shame on you. But what I'm doing is each day from the tree behind me, these are all little gift bags, and inside the little gift bags are sheets of paper, which I did have right here. They look like this, and on the other side is a color of a yarn and a stitch. So every day I pick one of these and I have to make a kitchen towel set using that yarn and that stitch. So today is the variegated yarn and the shell stitch. Now I have to admit to you, I have been up since about 3 a.m. and it is 6:30 now. So I've got a lot of this done already. And I didn't want to record in the middle of the night and wake others up in the house. So I'm just going to show you where I am on this project. So this is the shell stitch, okay? I've used the variegated yarn, and then I used a couple of colors. Hindsight, you can't really see the light color that much, but it's okay. I'm bringing it back in up here. So I'm using the shell stitch, which is, now, before I get into that, let me tell you that these are not tutorials. This is pretty much just, hey, check out what I'm doing. If you want more information on how the stitch is done or how I made the cloth, shoot me an email. All the information is in the information box below. Or you can put a comment. I'll see it and I will respond to you. So you chain. It's divisible by 6 plus 2. Okay. So I did 32. And then you don't do a base row of singles. Okay. You go right into it. So you do your chain, turn it, you do a single crochet in the first chain, you skip 2, and then you put in 5 double crochets in the next one. So that's the pattern. Then you skip 2, put a single, skip 2, and that's what makes the fan. Okay. So now I'm up to the point where I am starting to reduce this, and I'm bringing in the 2 contrasting colors, and I'm carrying them along so that I can do 1 row of each one without switching colors that often. I can just bring it along with me. So as I do with all of my cloths, the top, when it starts to taper down, I do half doubles across the top until it gets thin enough to put on the buttonhole and make that as the handle. So right now I'm simply doing my second row of half doubles because I'm starting on the top of the towel where it is going to start tapering in. Now, I do have a playlist for all of these towels. This is day 16. Excuse me. So the towels 1 through 15 are already up. They are up not only on YouTube, but I also have pictures of them posted on Facebook. Fortunate Creations, the group page, and the Create and Share page. So lots of places for you to check it out. Lots of places for you to get in touch with me if you have questions about it, comments, suggestions. If you see me doing something that you do differently, however you want. Also, as I remove the tags from the bags, I've been putting in a somebody. Now, a somebody is an addie-gurumi that I made up. So I use my small addie machine and I make a little stuffed animal. I call it an addie-gurumi because I am so bad at amigurumi that I won't even try it anymore. Well, I will. I know I will. I shouldn't, but I will. So I would like to introduce to you Butterscotch. So Butterscotch is a somebody, and she's going to go in envelope number 16 in place of the stitch and the color. Isn't she adorable? I love her. So that's Butterscotch. Hopefully someday Butterscotch will find a really good home. Now, also, if you would like to know the legend of the somebody, that's also on my channel. Check it out. Long story short, a somebody is an ancient legend that when somebody's having a hard time and they feel like they're all by themselves in life, somebody will come into their world and show them that they're not alone. That's pretty much the gist of it. It's a sweet little toy, and you know what? It's a cute little pick-me-up if somebody is feeling sad or down, you know? So there we have that. Now I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to do one more row of the contrasting colors. And that way, or should I do the rest of the, yeah, maybe I'll do the rest of the towel. Okay, now I'm going to start the decrease. So I decrease mine a little differently. Sorry, I got my morning cough going on. So I'm going to skip this first one. Then I drop a loop, go into the next one, drop a loop. Okay, and then I just do half doubles all the way across, and then I decrease on the other side as well. So I'm decreasing both sides of the towel at once. And then when I'm done with the decrease rows, I go ahead and I put a row of single or half doubles all the way around the towel. And that gives it a nice seam. So unfortunately, like I said, I have been working on this one already because I do have a lot going on today and I might not have time to actually record this later. So I wanted to get as much of this done as possible so I could get the video up and have it, because I don't want to miss a day, you know. Tomorrow is day 17, and if you tune in at 8:30 in the morning Eastern Time to Fortunate Creations on YouTube, on the YouTube streets, I do live coffee with Kim every morning at 8:30, except this morning because I do have my Christmas party at work. And since my work is a school, we have to do our party before the kiddos come in. So I am having one of my subscribers, one of my best buddies on YouTube, Margaret from Songbird Creations. She's doing my hour this morning for me. So I'm really excited to hear from her how that worked out. I'm sure it's going to go great. But tomorrow morning I will be back at my normal time, and I will be able to pick day 17 for the Santa Cloth Challenge. Oh, I didn't run this through. Dang it. Well, I'm just going to have to snip it off there. See, you caught me in a mistake. I'm going to have to take it off and reintroduce this color on this end. It's just another tail to tuck in, right? Which is just what I was trying to avoid, but that's all right. I usually tuck the tails anyway when I do the border around the outside. So it's all good. Okay, again, I'm going to skip the first one, and then I'm going to do 2 half doubles together. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue on. So that's how that goes. And then now for the rest of the kitchen towel set, I make a smaller hand towel or a little hot plate or some, a pot holder, something that goes with it, or a washcloth. And then I also do a little scrubby. So I use that scrubby yarn, the scrunchy yarn. I call it scrubby yarn, but I think it's scrunchy yarn. And I make a matching set. So it's a pretty cute 3-piece set. And then I will grab 1 bottle, jar, container, whatever you want to call it, of gentle foaming hand soap that matches the colors of the towel set. And it really turns into a nice gift. So I'm using a lot of these as gifts for the holidays. Coworkers, friends, families, neighbors, the mailman, whoever, my hairdresser, which by the way, I should go see her anyway. All right, so let's check this out. Tends to get weird shapes until I actually do block them at the end so I can get them in shape and they look good. Because especially if you're giving them as gifts, you don't want them to look all wonky. And I am using sugar and cream cotton, and that tends to get pulled and stretched out. So you want to just make sure you're putting your best foot forward if you're giving this out as a gift, you know. That's pretty neat. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to go back to the variegated and finish it off. No. What do you think? Should I keep it? Yeah, I like these colors. Okay. I'm going to keep alternating back and forth with the colors. And because I like the way it looks. Until this gets small enough for me to put the buttonhole on. I do have a lot more tails than I usually do. That's all right because I'm talking and not really paying attention to my process here. So it's okay. It is all good. Maybe I'll remember on this row. Chain one. Okay, skip the first one, yarn over, go into the next one, pull up. So each time I'm reducing it by 2. Going right along. Moving right along. Yeah, I really like the solid color on the top. And I have already done the small dishcloth. It's a bit simpler, but it does bring in these colors. So I just need to now figure out what I'm going to do for the scrubby. I have to find some of that scrunchy yarn that's going to match these colors. I'm not quite sure what I have in my stash, but I will figure that out when I get there, right? And I'm going to remind myself to run this back through so I have a few less tails to tuck in. Normally I would show you starting the towel, how I started, how I picked the colors, but like I said, I started this at 3 in the morning and I didn't want to record and talk at 3 in the morning. Who wants to talk at 3 in the morning? I certainly do not. So, okay, reducing here, pull up, introduce back in the light color. Remind yourself, I'm talking to myself now, remind yourself to run the dark green all the way back. So what I do here is I just lay the dark green along the row as I do the other color. You can't even tell it's there, and it just saves me the reintroducing, right? Pull that tight. There we go. Lay that down. Do. Skip the first one. In, up, and around. I do apologize for my throat. It is morning allergies that I get every morning, especially when we turn the heaters on. We have baseboard heat. And as you know, baseboards can hide a lot of dust. So once they kick in, my allergies are like, hey, let's do this. Okay. I keep checking the time on this video because it only allows me to do 30 minutes without a cut. So I just need to make sure I'm not rambling on for more than 30 minutes and that I don't have to leave for work. It is snowy out, so I do got to give it a couple extra minutes. Yay, snow. I'm not a snow person. I'm not a winter person. I'm an August 85-degree person. That's what I am. That is exactly what I am. Okay, now I am working with 3 different types of yarn, or 3 different manufacturers of yarn. I'm using Sugar and Cream is the light one. Premier Home is the variegated, and Loops and Thread is the dark green. So I do have 3 different types of cotton here, and I have to admit, for this purpose, for this project, the Sugar and Cream is my favorite. The Premier Home is too thin and flimsy, and I guess the Loops and Thread isn't that bad. It's just I'm used to the tightness, sturdiness, thickness of the Sugar and Cream. So that's that. Okay, we'll pull up. Nope. Pull up the. Come on. There we go. It's like that game, Cats in the Cradle, where you're trying to get the string in the right place. Remember when life was simple enough to play Cats in the Cradle? Okay, this is looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead, remind myself to run this string back with it. And I'm going to skip that one. In and up. Tighten it a little bit. There we go. And up and around. Okay. So I keep going this until the handle is about reduced down to about 4 or 5. And then I put the buttonhole on. You'd think I'd be a bit quicker at this, but especially in the morning, my hands are like, let's take a minute to wake up. Let's just take a moment, shall we? So I give my hands a moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go back and forth a few times, and then I will check in with you when I'm ready for the button. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished the top. So I did every other row, the contrasting colors, and then I did the top, the 2 colors together. I like the effect of that. Now I'm just taking the dark green and I'm going around the outside. I'm actually doing a half double border because there's a lot of colors going on here, so I want to make it one distinct color around the outside. Make sure it covers up the lighter green. Make sure I tuck in all the tails that are going around the outside as well. And then we're going to pick the button, and I will reveal to you the full set for day 16 of the Santa Cloth Challenge. I'm really having a blast with this. I hope you take the time to go look at the other ones, maybe even try some. I would love to see some of your creations. If you guys would like to make the towels, share them with me on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, shoot them to me in an email and let me know if I can put them on the page in Facebook. I've done that for a few of my subscribers who do not have Facebook pages. So they just send me the pictures and I put them up on Facebook for them on my Create and Share page. It's nice. It's a fun way for us to encourage each other, share tips and tricks, Plus, it's nice to show others what you can create, what you have created. Maybe get some advice for next time or give someone else ideas, Something someone might not have thought of. I might be doing something the hard way and you might be like, why is she doing that? If she just does this, this, or this, it would make life so easy. So that's why I started that group page. So we can share tips and tricks like that. We all love to crochet and create. And we all have different ways of doing it. So I've only been crocheting for 2 years. And I'm sure there's many people out there who have been doing it for many more years than that. So they could probably give me some tips, some tricks, some hints, some hacks. I will take them all, because the more I can learn about crocheting, the better. Okay, I'm running all of these tails down the side here. Kind of gives it a thicker border, which I like as well. Then I'll just go back and trim off any of the ones that are still sticking out. And I do have a box full of buttons that I'm going to hopefully find the perfect button. That's the trick. Go through all of this and then try to find the perfect button to click it all together with. It's kind of like the frosting on a cupcake. It's got to have that finishing touch. All right, I'm going to finish this and I will be back with you shortly. Hey there. Okay, so I have been to work and back. I got the outside of this all done. I got the tails tucked. Now I'm looking for the perfect button. Thank you very much. And I would say that one is absolutely the perfect button. So we're going to go with that one. I'm going to sew it on. If you hear something else going on, I have my Cricut going because I'm making t-shirts. I need to get them done and sent out ASAP. Okay, so now I'm going to find a needle that'll fit through this button. Let me grab my needles here. Will this one go through? Yes. Barely, but it'll go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this yarn. I'm going to take 2-ply off of it and use 2-ply to sew. Okay. Sew that button on. And okay, that's one t-shirt done. Okay, printed, not done. So I'm going to put that button right there. And we're going to fold it over this way. So make sure the button is nice in the middle. You fold over the handle. Make sure it lines up. Get it in there. Okie doke. Oh, I have that. There's a song stuck in my head. It's a commercial. It's a little bit maddening, but that's fine. It's fine. And I can't sing it because then I'm singing the commercial, right? So it is what it is. Just keep singing. Keep singing. Pull that through. Back in that way. Back through. And I say it every single one. I'll say it again. Do this as many times as possible because you really want the button to stay on. So you want to go ahead and you want to make it nice and tight. And when you're choosing a button, I just broke that. When you're choosing a button, make sure you choose one that gives you a little challenge getting through the button loop for the first time. All right, I broke that yarn, so I'm going to snip that and start over. Part of the challenge, right? Now you can also use regular yarn for this, but I like to use the thread because it keeps the color throughout the items. So I'm going to try to see if I can get the 4 strands through it. I don't know if I can. If I can't, I might actually go with thread. But what am I doing there? I'm flattening it with my teeth so it'll fit through the eye of the needle, hopefully. In a perfect world, it'll fit through. There we go. Okay, now because it's thicker, I am going to struggle a little bit with getting it through the hole in the button. That's all good, right? Then I know it's nice and secure. So let's hope this time, second time's the charm instead of third time. Today was a great day at work. I had a blast. I love all the people I work with. I love the job. I love everything about it. So I have found my calling for sure in an elementary school, and I love it. The kids are great. They're just babies. They're so sweet. Okay, I got that tied on, so I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot in the back. Nice and tight. Hide the last tails that aren't hidden yet. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Tie those in there. So it was variegated shell stitch. And I used the variegated on the bottom. And then I brought in the solid colors. The fun thing is usually I'm using a solid color and bringing in the contrasting or the variegated. So it was kind of a neat turn of events on this one. Snip this into the garbage. Careful not to snip your work. That would be terrible. And I don't have time to redo that. Nobody has time to redo that. So pull that through there, up in, back in here. Okay. So my Secret Santa at the Christmas party gave me a Michael's gift card. So I just happened to stop at Michael's on my way home. All I have to say is that it's still buy one, get one half off for yarn. And I do still have 10 days worth of this challenge left. So perhaps I needed a little bit more cotton yarn. I did get my order from Hobby. And it's thin. It's a 1 cotton. But what I will do is I will use 2 together. So that's not a problem whatsoever. All right. Here we go. Take that, trim that. Nice, nice, nice. I like it. So, again, this is one of the ones where I really didn't have a scrubby to go with it until I went to Michael's after work. So, will that go with it? Let's go ahead and run 36 rows of this. Make the scrubby, and we'll have the full set. Okay. As I mentioned in a different video, I keep my small Addy attached right here at my desk. And that way, it's always ready to use. I don't know if you can see it here. Let's do this. Move the microphone. You can see it a little bit. There it is. The camera's crooked. I keep forgetting that my camera, or my computer, my new one, has a touch screen. So I'm touching things and it's redoing. I don't know what it's doing. So. All right, I'm in focus. I'm going to go ahead, in front, behind, in front, behind. We're going to do 36 rows for the scrubby. And I wonder, since I'm bringing out more of the green on this, can I move this over? Here we go. Rearranging the whole desk here. Sorry about that, you guys. There we go. Okay. Slide it back. Get that out of the way. There we go. First row always sounds like you're ripping the thing off the wall. Come on. There we go. Okay. 36 rows, please. Making t-shirts, I'm making ponchos, I'm making kitchen towels. I got stuff going on. 36 rows. We're on row 7. And I think while I'm crocheting later, I'm just going to put on a bad movie. I have been watching really bad Christmas movies lately. So I'm going to put on a movie and just put my nose to the grindstone, because I did have one of my coworkers ask me if I was going to get the poncho done for her. So I now have a rush order to finish instead of one that I thought I had until the new year. So there we go. Row 15. We're halfway there at row 18. It'll be a nice little set. Lots of different colors, but I think I'm going to go ahead with a green soap if I have one and tie it all together. Row 24, 25, 26, 27. Don't forget, I still have to make a somebody too, right? 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Okay. Trim this off. Get my needle that's up here. We're going to scoop this off and finish things up. So, I can't remember what I babbled on about this morning, so I'm just going to babble on a little bit more. If you have not checked out days 1 through 15, please do. I have them all in a playlist called the Santa Cloth Challenge. And each day, from behind me on that tree, I pull out a color of yarn and a stitch. And then I make a kitchen towel set based on what I pull out of there. So it's kind of fun. It's really a great way for all of us that hang out in the morning on Coffee with Kim. We interact with each other with it, so it's really fun. And I would hope that some of you would try some of these. Let me see your work. Let me see what you've done and how you've tried it, how they come out, or even show me the day you give it to somebody as a gift. Show me if they like it as the gift. You know, I think that would be kind of cool as well. I know all of my siblings and co-workers are getting a set. And then what I have left, I'm actually going to try to sell at the fair. I think that'll be fun as well. Okay, I always fight with the last one gets stuck on there. Okay. Ta-da. Let's put this back. There we go. Sorry if I made you motion sick. Here we go. Okay, and it's as simple as this. You just tighten this end. Tighten this end. And then I just take the needle and I go weave it in and out just to close it up. Now you could leave it open if you want. Put a bar of soap in there. Use it in the shower. Put a nice body bar in there, or however you want to use it. I say it's a kitchen towel set, but it doesn't mean you have to use it in the kitchen. You can also use it in the bathroom, in your spare bathroom, in your camper, which I have several of them in my camper. So I like that. Now I've made myself a knot. Just going to pull. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. Trim this off here. There we go. And I'm going to incorporate this tail into a handle. Okay. Around and around. Nobody knows where it goes. You can also use a crochet hook to do this. Totally up to you how you want to end it. It's really just a scrubby, and the yarn itself hides any flaws. So it's really easy to work with. It's very forgiving. Unless you're trying to get it through a needle. Then it's not. Okay, so we're going to not do it the fast way. We're going to do it the slow way. Because I tried to rush it. And that ended up taking me an extra couple minutes. When you're creating, make sure you have time to take a breath. You know, don't cut yourself too thin. Don't overpromise. I love to tell everybody, sure, I can do that. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. But you know what? There's times when maybe I can't. And today was a good example of that. I should have told my coworker, sorry, I'm probably not going to be able to get it done. But I didn't want to disappoint her. So I told her, absolutely, I will get it done by Friday. And she was very excited because she has a Christmas party that she wants to wear it to. And that's flattery for me. So, you know what I mean? I will buckle down. And it's my own fault. I should have been working on it anyway. Okay. So here we go. Tuck that last part in. And you will notice when I'm tucking my tails, I always put the needle in the project first and then thread the thread through, because sometimes the thread is just too thin. Okay. All right. Are you ready for the reveal? I'm certainly ready to give it to you. So here is the towel. Variegated shell stitch. The shell stitch is super easy. And if you have any questions on how I did these or would like any further details on the stitch, hit me up with a comment, an email, message me on Facebook, any of those. So here is, you can use this as a washcloth, as a hot plate, as a pot holder. And then here's the scrubby that goes with it. Slide that over there, slide the button over that. Ta-da! Now let's turn around and see what soap I have. I actually have one that's going to play on the blue in the variegated, and it's called Ocean. So there you go, everybody. Day 16, variegated shell stitch with Ocean soap to bring out the blue. If I can dig around in there and find a green one, I might swap them out, but for now, that's what they're doing. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know this was a quick one, and I'm sorry. It's just the way the day played out. So tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., please come hang out with us, Coffee with Kim, 8:30 Eastern, and we will see what day 17 has to offer. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Remember, always be happy, be kind, and be creative. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.